As we still wait for the final autopsy results on 4-year-old Serenity McKinney, there are questions about the state's involvement in the young girl's life. Many wonder how it took 1 year to list her as a missing person. Kristen Goodwillie talks with family and has more on what the state did to find the little girl.
It's along this wooded area that 4-year-old Serenity McKinney was found February 20th, 2022.
There's no reason for this. There were family members that wanted her, that asked to keep her.
According to Serenity's grandparents, the child was last seen December 2020, last heard on the phone in June 2021, then nothing. Family says her mother, Catherine Abby McKinney, and her boyfriend, Dakota Hill, isolated themselves.
She started blocking everybody in June, and then finished blocking everybody around September. Red flags started going up.
Abby and Dakota are now charged in Serenity's murder. Family believe they are just one aspect of Serenity's death and that there needs to be more accountability.
CPS needs to be held accountable for what they did. They never laid eyes on Serenity.
An aunt of Abby's, who asked not to be named, shared phone records and messages she says highlights a bigger issue. Phone records show the aunt called LMPD's non-emergency number 6 times between June 26th and June 28th. She says she was asking for a wellness check on Serenity. These messages show a conversation between her and Abby, where Abby says, "Aunt, did you have the well check thing done?" We've requested those recorded calls to dispatch, as well as body cam video from the wellness checks, and have been told LMPD needs to approve their release. Shortly after, Serenity's great-grandma says she called CPS's hotline to report abuse.
Call into the hotline. There's not a confirmation that the report was ever made.
At a loss of what to do next, the family called their friend Shannon Lehman, who's a board-certified behavioral analyst.
Because I've been in social services for practically 20 years, the family reached out to me and was telling me what was going on.
Lehman said she filed a report online. This is the email confirmation she received.
That said I filed the report and that if they chose not to open or not to investigate for any reason, they would follow up with me by email, and then I never received nothing from them.
In the past, Lehman says CPS contacted her to clarify statements made on a report. She never got any calls with this one. I requested Serenity's files from the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services. The cabinet denied my request, citing a statute that says a child's file can only be made public where child abuse or neglect has resulted in a child fatality or near fatality, and that the cabinet is required to conduct an internal review. Until that review is complete, we can't get those records.
My report was filed July 8th, and if I find out that she was still alive on July 8th, I'm going to be even more devastated, because that means she could have been saved.
It also means we can't corroborate the family's claims that the cabinet closed their case.
How do you go do a child protective to check on a child and then say that they're okay if you never see them?
We asked if social workers ever close a case without seeing a child. They sent us regulation that states social workers must meet face-to-face with a child. At this point, they won't tell us if they ever saw Serenity.
Do you think that Serenity fell through the cracks?
Absolutely.
In 2021, the last time family says they heard from Serenity, the state saw 208 child deaths or near deaths related to reported abuse, according to a report from the cabinet. The report also says that in the last 5 years, 71% of child deaths and near deaths directly related to abuse already had social workers investigating the families.
If it's not in the policy, I think there should be a policy that if a CPS report is filed on a child, regardless, someone should lay eyes on the child.
I'm Kristen Goodwillie, WHAS 11, on your side.
Serenity's mother and her boyfriend, Dakota Hill, are being held in the Bullitt County Jail on a $1 million full cash bonds. They are back in court on June 6th.